Justice is coming to all of us, no matter what we do. Let's talk about Watchmen. As with this film, it is based off the comic by DC Comics, as it is directed by Zack Snyder. And with this film, it is about when one of his former colleagues is murdered, the masked vigilante Rorschach sets out to uncover the plot to kill past and present superheroes. And I got to say, with this film, it exceeded expectations. This was my second time watching it, and this time I watched the Ultimate Cut, which is 44 minutes longer. And we already know how Zack Snyder loves his director cuts. But you could probably just get away with watching the regular cut instead of the director's cut. But with this film, it does have a great cast. From Malin Ackerman as Silk Spectre to Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian, Billy Crudup as Dr. Manhattan, Jackie Earle Haley as Rorschach, Patrick Wilson as the Owl, and Matthew Good as Ozymandias. I do think that the cast in this was great. Rorschach, I think he was the best one. But also Jeffrey Dean Morgan stood out as the comedian. It was interesting how he was like this douchebag asshole. Pretty much just an even more bigger douchebag than Negan is on The Walking Dead. And with how this film is, it was interesting to see it take place in the 80s, but yet jump around through many different time periods before, from the 60s, 50s. And the action, the style in this definitely stood out. And Zack Snyder, he does good when it comes to action. And with how the action is in this, it is pretty brutal. And with this film, it's just like an alternate version of the US with superheroes that is pretty dark and gritty, so that was interesting to see. But with the Ultimate Cut in this, we do see scenes of this one guy reading a comic that leads to animated sequences throughout the film. I'm not gonna lie, those did not work. Those took me out of the film. It just felt super unnecessary that was in the Ultimate Cut. But at the same time, it was interesting to see how the Ultimate Cut expanded on some stuff. But I will say, if you want to watch this film, you don't really need to watch the Ultimate Cut. It is 3 hours and 36 minutes. But if you want to, go ahead. With The Watchmen, though, it is one that I heard many mixed things about. And I can kind of understand why. While I did like the characters, there are times where it's kind of just jumps around with the characters that doesn't really work. Goes from one character to another when it's not interesting, or when it gets interested, it becomes uninteresting at times. And some things in this film could be a bit confusing and disturbing. But regardless of that, I did think that this was a pretty good film. I thought that the characters were interesting for the most part, and the cast in this did good. And this is probably one of Snyder's best. Overall, with Watchmen, it was a pretty good DC film. It has a great cast, great characters, and pretty cool action. But have you seen Watchmen? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below, and follow me for more.